Good afternoon, students. After studying the process of asexual reproduction in lower organisms like unicellular organisms and certain fungi, so we can see how in higher plants the process of asexual reproduction takes place. So, in higher plants, what happens? In higher plants, there are vegetative parts and the reproductive parts. And the vegetative parts are roots, stem, leaves, etc. They are the vegetative parts. And these vegetative parts like roots, leaves, stem, they take part in giving rise to new plant. So that is why it is called as vegetative reproduction in higher plants. So vegetative reproduction is the type of asexual reproduction. So how? Let us see how the process of reproduction, vegetative reproduction takes place in higher plants. So if you take the leaf of bryophyllum, how it vegetatively reproduces. So the leaf has notches. So when the leaf touches the ground, at the node, this part where there is notch, it will develop roots and it will grow into a new plant. So such type of buds which are present in the leaf, they are called as leaf buds or epiphyllous buds. Okay, so here leaf is taking part in giving rise to new plant. And in potato, onion, the stem, lower part of the stem. In potato, you can see the food material is stored in tubers. So thickened underground stem where the food is stored. And so if it is cut and planted, it will grow into a new plant. And bulbs means the short stem surrounded by fleshy leaves which take part in the process of vegetative reproduction. That means the stem is taking part in giving rise to new plant. And in some plants, roots are giving rise to new plants. How? That means in plants like neem trees, neem and curry leaf plants, you can see the parent plant is surrounded by so many small plants. How? That means in the roots small buds are present. These buds will give rise to new plant. They are called root buds. So we can see briefly in higher plants, vegetative parts of the plant will take part in giving rise to new plant. That is why it is called vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is a type of asexual reproduction. So different parts of the plant like flower, like leaf, roots, stem, so they will take part in giving rise to new plant. So leaf buds in case of bryophyllum, tubers in case of potato, and bulbs in the case of onion, root buds in the case of neem and curry leaf. So they are taking part in giving rise to new plant. So that is called vegetative reproduction. So what is the importance of vegetative reproduction? So though plants prefer sexual reproduction, there are certain beneficial characters in vegetative reproduction. What are they? So that means by means of vegetative reproduction, more number of plants can be grown in very short period of time. That is one thing. And if a person wants the plant which exactly resembles the parent plant, vegetative reproduction helps. That means no mixing of new characters. If he wants the plant which exactly resembles the parent plant, vegetative reproduction helps. And by means of vegetative reproduction, different varieties of plants can be grown by means of a process which is called as grafting. And in certain plants, so the flowers are produced very rarely, that means once in a year, like that. So in such plants, sexual reproduction takes place a lot of time. So in such plants, vegetative reproduction is very useful. So man has found there are certain beneficial features in case of vegetative reproduction. He started propagating the plants vegetatively by different methods. So that is vegetative propagation. Means artificially man is trying to grow the plants. How? By different means, cuttings, layerings, grafting, etc. So cuttings means a healthy plant is selected where the stem is healthy and without any diseases, and he will cut the stem with more than two nodes, and he puts it in the soil and waters it, and fertilizers are supplied. Very soon the lower part of the stem develops roots and grows into a new plant that we can see in the nerium, hibiscus plants, etc. And layerings means a plant develops roots when it is still in contact with the parent plant. That is called layering. The plants which are grown by layering, they are called layers. So that means a small notch is made in the stem, and it is surrounded with a soil, and it is covered with polythene cover, and it is allowed to grow roots. So very soon it will develop roots, and after complete development of the roots, that particular part of the plant is cut and is grown into a new plant. That method is called layering. And grafting. So grafting is a method where two plants belonging to the same species, they are allowed to grow together. That means let us imagine mango tree. So in what happens, one variety of tree has good fruits, leaves, but root system is very weak. In other plant, root system is very good, but stem shoot system is not good. So that means we want a healthy root system and a healthy shoot system. In such cases, we'll mix the plant grafting. That means we'll allow the plant to grow together with a healthy root system and a healthy shoot system. So the plant which provides root system is called stalk, and the plant which provides shoot system is called scion. Stalk and scion are allowed to grow together, and it will develop into a new plant with all good qualities in root system and shoot system. Such type of method of vegetative propagation is called grafting. So grafting is commercially very useful, and it is very economic also. With less money, so many different types of varieties of plants can be produced. So that means, for example, mango, apple, guava. So these are all the different methods of vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation means vegetative parts of the plant are taking part in giving rise to new plant. So that means leaf buds, tubers like a potato, bulbs like in onion, root buds like a neem and curry leaf, and the importance of vegetative reproduction, and what are the different methods of vegetative propagation: cuttings, layerings, grafting, etc. So this is the importance of vegetative reproduction. Next we shall move on to the sexual reproduction, how the process of sexual reproduction takes place, and what are all the plant parts which take part in sexual reproduction. That we shall see in next class. Okay, thank you.